all that stuff going on, right? But it's got to change at some point in time. So what's that next move, and how do you kind of navigate a space like this right now?
Yeah, it's tough. For me, I've always been just a long term diamond hand. I find a project, I do my research, and I invest. And I don't check floor prices. Um, so what I have, especially, I think it was like a little bit before. I like build market. I'm stealing that. During this build market, um, I did start to move towards a little bit more of like the actual like trying to trade NFTs and like trying to hit that free mint and get that point oh 0.05 if it pops off and move on. Um, i.e., well, I fun story. Um, I had the contract for Goblin Town and
Hmm.
thought it was a fucking joke. I didn't think it was going anywhere. So of course I didn't mint it. And I was like out and about and someone sends me and they're like, the contract looks a little weird. I don't know. And so yeah, there that goes.
Weird, all right.
Yeah. And then you see some of the stuff coming out of NFT NYC and it's just like, well, I mean, I would have liked the money, but not really wanting to be a part of that community. Because when I invest in NFT, I invest in the community. That's why I got into Brew Crew, Ether Brews. Like, Brew Crew. I love you guys.
Fuck
Why
yeah.
why wouldn't I be in that community?
Hell yeah.
Um, so for me personally, I've been doing a little bit more degeneracy. I'd still say 90% of my ETH goes to long-term projects that I care about. And until something major changes, I'm not going to sell it.
Hmm.
Just, unless, I don't know, 100X's overnight, like maybe I'd think about it. Not Crookz. I don't think I could ever sell a Crook. 69 ETH, I'll sell a Crook. Once that's the floor price, I'll sell a Crook.
Kind of how I'm feeling about the brews, man. But
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we'll be able to change the marketing game with our interoperable traits for both of us. Both sides of the coin, Crooks and brews, and maybe we'll just be able to utilize the secondary for our traits and make hella dough off of our traits and never actually sell out of the project. That'd be pretty damn cool. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's not. I'm bullish on the future, and I think it is. Speaking of the future, what most excites you about the future, man? Like, I know I kind of said, what do you think that next move is? And even the kind of continuation upon that, like, what most excites you for the future? Like, you get up, you can check the crypto bubbles, you can see everything redder than red. Shit hasn't gone up forever. Like, we're talking about the same shit, another free mint. And like me personally, I've kind of stopped. I would say maybe like now honestly I've stopped. Like now, asked me a week ago, hell no, I was all about the degen mints and all of this alpha calls, blah blah blah. But I've chosen to now cement in and get involved with some high quality communities. And maybe they're a little bit more high priced and maybe they're out of the price range of a lot of people. But I'm just that damn bullish on the future of this space. So what excites you most about the future? Why do you just keep, despite the shit, keep coming around every single day?
One number that really got to me when I first got in this space. Someone told me how many wallets there were on OpenSea. And it was like, and this was probably like last October maybe, but it was like under 1 million or so. It was crazy. And like, think about that. Think about the numbers of how many people are just in the US. And then think about the world, because NFTs are not purely American. I've learned that. I have so many friends from overseas. Like, um, there was like less than 1 million wallets on OpenSea, or those were the official numbers when I started. And that doesn't include people having multiples. So this space, the people here, it's such a small group right now that if I'm excited about how projects and people are able to onboard Web 2, get people, I've been referring to them as muggles, people that aren't into NFTs, get those muggles involved in NFTs. Um, and a lot of that is going to be big projects.
Hey, shout out HP, bro. Shout out HP. I'm all about HP, bro. Come on. I had to have the connections come together, and I was just like, you know what? That shit makes total sense. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, and I think like once we can get those people in, and I saw something from Doodles. Doodles just had Pharrell as their like I forget what his title is, but he's on their team now.
Chief Brand Ambassador. Talked about it on this here show.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed it. I was getting psyched up. I was getting amped up, listening to some DMX before the show.
Drop, shut them down, open up shop. Whoa!
Whoa.
Shout out the OG, man. Oh,
Rest in
lost the legend
peace. Yeah.
way too early. Oh, shout out DMX. Sorry, I'm sorry. I see what happens when I get cool people on the show. I go down the rabbit hole. Stop me. Please continue on. Okay, I thought of something. Actually, I think it's a great segue point from what you just said there. You said multiple wallets. I have 5 myself and planning on getting more, and I don't even really move like that. Like, I'm no whale by any means. Like, no sirree Bob. So, holy shit, I don't even want to know some of these people who have Basie on Basie on Basie and Macy and Kennel Club, how many wallets they have. My man HD from the Respected Rhinos, I think you would really like HD, man, and JTR. They're high quality people. I've been saying hashtag OQP in the space. Only quality people, man, is who I'm surrounding myself right now. No question about it. And he keeps tossing this out when we talk about just how early we are. 2 things is whack me. There is no wag me. Whack me with a C. We all can make it. It takes people like you who have the mindset like you do, people like HD, people who tune into this show, who want to see the furthering of this space, who want to see it get better, who want to combat those security issues. That is what it truly means to actually make it. We can make it. You just have to stay the course. You have to have the same mindset. You can't just invest in a project. We all gonna make it. It don't work like that. That's not how this space is. And I hope you guys are listening and taking notes to what ReDKeV's saying, because, man, he is spot on with everything he's been saying. And OpenSea, man, 1.9 million wallets roughly now since the last time you updated. In comparison to eBay, that's got about 597 million active users. So you put it in comparison in how eBay and OpenSea are essentially the same shit. OpenSea just lacks an e-commerce platform, thus enter MetaMask connection. That's literally the only difference between those 2 platforms, is one connection of a wallet instead of an e-commerce system. That's all it is. And, that's the potential it has. So I think you're so right, man. And I absolutely love where you went with that, because we still are early. We've got so into the wag me bros mindset that we've forgotten, I think, how truly we actually are, man.
Well, and like one thing I like to look at, and that's great, 1.9 million. That sounds about right, because in the past, like since then, because again, those numbers I was taught, it was like October, so that makes a lot of sense. There was a lot of adoption, and
for sure,
ETH was going crazy, so people were getting into it. Once we see ETH start going back up, I think a lot more people. And one thing I really like, and I'm sure you've noticed this, Twitter. So Twitter is obviously NFT social media. I had no idea when I first got in Crookz. Someone told me that, was like, hey, if you're going to get in NFTs at all, get on Twitter. And I was like, no, I don't like politics. I don't want to be on Twitter. That's all I knew Twitter. That's all I knew Twitter was politics.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm good. And then they're like, no, idiot, follow the right people. And you'll only see NFT stuff. So that's what I do. I see a little bit of sports stuff here and there, but it's all NFT stuff. And the interactions since this build market has started have gone so far down that there's so many people that were in this space that have, I don't know if they sold everything and got out. I don't know if they're just like, screw this, I'm going back to my personal docs Twitter and just hanging out with other friends, and I'm going to let this stuff build over here and see what happens a few months from now. But like, you see the interaction and you see the sentiment on Twitter, and granted, I do like me a good shit post. I do like me some shit posters on Twitter.
For sure.
I'm trying to be one myself, but I'm getting there. I like using Twitter to be real too, like because I think there's so many doxed people in this space. Like, almost maybe my 3rd week in Crookz, I showed a picture of myself, and like, I just didn't know any better. I'm like, I don't know this. You guys are my friends. You guys should see what I look like. It made sense.
Right.
But there's so many doxed people doing shady stuff, and we can go down a huge rabbit hole of those people. But I think something in this NFT space that I appreciate is the authenticity, is the people that are real. And hey, if you make a mistake, you own up to it as immediately as you can, and you say, hey, I didn't expect this to happen, or this took longer than it should have, and we're working on it. So I think Twitter is a really good place to look at like how NFT in this space is going, because when you see less and less interactions, I see less and less promo people saying, "Hey, I just sold my Bored Ape for 300 ETH. What floor am I sweeping? With the push of a button, I can raise your floor." Like, I actually saw one the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, maybe this market's coming back."
Yeah, no shit.